There's a specific feeling that comes right after you've been thinking hard about something for a long time. Not clarity, not relief, just a kind of tired that doesn't feel like rest. You know the feeling. You've been turning something over, a decision, a situation, something you can't quite resolve. And at some point, the thinking stopped moving forward. But you kept going anyway, not because you were getting closer, just because stopping felt worse. And somewhere in the middle of all that effort, there's a question you probably haven't stopped to ask. What if thinking harder isn't actually how clarity works? There's a specific kind of tired that doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from thinking about the same thing over and over and still not feeling any closer. You're trying to get clear on something, a decision, a feeling that won't settle, something that's been sitting with you longer than it should. But here's what nobody really questions, the assumption underneath all of it, that the reason you're not clear yet is that you haven't thought about it enough. So you keep going, not because it's working, but because stopping feels like the one thing you are not allowed to do. And then at some point, you stop, not because you figured it out, because you just couldn't anymore. You got up, made something, went outside, let your mind go somewhere else, anywhere else. Not as a strategy, just because the effort had run out. And somewhere in that gap, not during it, but after, when you came back, something was different. Not solved, but quieter. You probably didn't trust it. It felt too accidental to mean anything, like it didn't count because you didn't earn it. So you went back to thinking, but you didn't stay with it. Not because it wasn't real, because it felt wrong to trust something that arrived so easily. That doesn't feel like understanding. It feels like distraction wearing a disguise. And underneath that, something quieter, harder to admit. If the quiet was real, then what were you doing all that time, all that turning it over, all that effort? What was it for? So you went back, not because thinking was working, but because at least it felt like you were taking it seriously, like you were someone who cared enough to keep trying. The quiet felt like giving up, and giving up, even for a moment, felt like a kind of failure. Think about the times you actually got clear on something. Not the times you tried hardest, the actual moments. When something settled, when you knew what you thought, when the noise went quiet enough that you could finally hear yourself. Most people find the same thing. It wasn't at the desk, it was somewhere smaller, walking somewhere, just before sleep, in the middle of doing something that had nothing to do with it. The clarity didn't come because you pushed harder. It came because for a moment you stopped pushing. You probably filed those moments under luck or coincidence, because if it wasn't effort that brought it, it couldn't really count. But they kept happening. Every time you let go, just enough. Nothing about the question has changed. Whatever you were trying to get clear on, it's still there, still waiting. You haven't solved it, and you haven't stopped caring about it. The situation is exactly what it was. But something is different about how you're sitting with it. You haven't done anything. You've just noticed something you couldn't quite unsee, that the moments you were closest to clarity weren't the moments you were working hardest for it. That's not a solution. It doesn't tell you what to do next. But there's something quieter in you right now than there was a few minutes ago. Not peace exactly, just less pressure. Like the question is still present, but it's no longer the only thing in the room. You didn't earn that. It just happened. Maybe that's allowed. You'll probably go back to thinking, most people do. Not because it works, just because it's familiar. Because effort is the one thing that's always felt like proof that you care. But maybe now, somewhere underneath all of it, you've noticed something you can't quite put back. That the quiet wasn't nothing. That it arrived for a reason you didn't earn and couldn't explain. And maybe that's enough to hold for now.